Yeah, good evening, guys. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My voice is clear? Everything is?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, today we are going to see. I think we are going to start this one. So in last class, we seen how we can able to create a flows, how we can call the subflows and everything. So today we are going to see what is the important of this. So technically, this we can call it as a CRUD operations on DB. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is a CRUD? CRUD is nothing but a different kinds of operation we are going to perform it. Let me write like this one. So the CRUD is nothing but the C always indicates. One second. So the indicates the creating a resource. Okay. So for example, to create a resource, which operation we are going to use it? That means which method, HTTP method we need to use it to represent creation. So for example, I want to insert a new data, otherwise I want to create a new file. Then in those situations, generally which methods we are using? What HTTP web, what HTTP method we can represent when we posting of some data. Creation is nothing but posting the data from one place to the another place. So which method we are going to use it? Post method. Okay, that's the one. So nothing is there. So the CRUD, the read. So the R indicates the read operation. So the read operation, which method we can able to represent it?
Get.
Get
The
method.
get method. Then the you always indicates you always indicates
Update.
Update.
update, right? So update. So update is nothing but there are two methods generally we can use to update the one. What are those two?
Patch.
So the first one is the put operate, sorry, patch. What is the next one? Either we can use patch or put. So when we performing the D indicates the delete method, then we need to use here. So delete, this is the method. So I think, sorry, wait, 1 second. Please go on mute, guys. Someone is talking. Okay. So D indicates the delete. For the delete, we need to represent a method as a delete method. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between put, patch, and post? Previously, we already discussed these things. What is the difference between post, put, and patch? Can anyone? What is the post always? Can anyone?
New data is created
The
always.
post always creates the new
Present.
record inside of your destination. Then patch.
It modifies, but the record has to be there.
If the record is there, then only it can do the modification. Then what about the put operation?
If the record is there, it deletes the record and creates a new one. If the data record is not there, it creates a new record.
Yeah. So this is the most important interview question. Just remember. Okay. Now I want to perform these CRUD operations over the top of DB is nothing but the database. Okay. So for this one, I am already installing the Oracle software. So if anyone wants to know where the Oracle's mean, so how which version you need to download it, everything, how we can able to install it, everything you can see. This is the link. You can just follow this link. I will ping this link to the chat box. 1 second. So this is the document. Just go to that link and everything is there. You can see. This is the link. This is the Google link where you can download Oracle XE 11G edition. It's around 400 MB, 700 MB, something is there. So just follow this instruction to install it. That's it. Okay. Once installation is completed, then you need to open your SQL command line. You can see. So don't go any other tools. Just type it run SQL command line. Then it is automatically opens like this one. So by default, it is asking your user ID and password. So whatever the password you given, that is the that is the password for the administrator account. So here the administration account is nothing but the system. Whatever the during the installation, whatever the password you are giving, so you need to enter that password here. That is the one. So am I already creating the one user? You can see what is my username here. What is my username here? You guys are able to see what is my username here, the
Yes.
mule, and what
Mule.
is the my password is the mule demo. Okay, just remember. So in your case, your user ID is the system and password, whatever the password you are giving. Now, first we will see some basic commands on the SQL side. Then we can go to the mule side and we will replicate the same thing. Okay. So, let's see SQL. What is the one? One second. I can see the Oracle SQL tutorial. Okay. Let's check this. Okay. I'm opening some SQL tutorial to identify what is the one and everything. Second, Oracle basics. So first we need to create a table. In top of the table, we can able to do it everything. Okay. So you can see first how we can create a table and everything. Step by step, we are going to see some basic command. Then we will see it. Okay. So for example, in Oracle side, then the data is available inside of the table format only. Can anyone tell me why we are framing the data inside of the table format? Before it's not related to this one, but it is good to know. So in the DB side, in the DB, you can take any DB provider. Your data is always stored in the form of data was
Rows and columns.
stored in the stored in the form of tables only, right? So inside of the tables we have rows and
Columns.
columns. Why they are framing the data in the form of rows and columns? Can anyone tell me? So why they are putting the data in the form of rows and columns? So why they are structurizing the data in the form of table? Why they are structurizing the data in the form of table? Can anyone? So it's very simple. Let us say, for example, your data is why they are maintaining the data in the form of table means, let us say, for example, this is the employee data. I am writing this one. So this is employee data. So I want to store employee data. Then you can see I'm creating the one table structure to store my employee data. So first one is the employee ID. The next one is the employee name. The next one is the salary. The next one is the job. The next one is the phone number. So these are the column names. Let us say first employee. 101 is my first employee. Name is Smith and the salary is 50,000 and job is the HR. Phone number is 723 something. Otherwise, I can write it clearly. 7896. Okay, so there is one more employee is there, one not more. So Rose is the second employee name, salary is the 70,000. He is a developer. Then his the phone number is 781236. You can see. So this is the way they are storing the data. Obviously, your data is in the form of table, right? So how does the structure of table? Your table is looks like this one. So okay. I'm converting my data is in the form of like this one. So you guys tell me in this table how many rows are available? How many rows are available?
Three.
There are two rows are available. The
Sorry,
first
three.
one we can call it as a header column, right? So this is the row one, this is the row two. So how many columns are available?
Five.
C1,
Five.
C2, C3, C4, C5. So can anyone tell me why we are converting the data in the form of rows and columns? Is there any separate reason in there to converting the data is in the form of rows and columns? Let us say, for example, I want to display the records which are belong to employee ID 101. So I want to display the all the details belongs to the employee ID 101. Then which one I need to select? Which one I need to select?
C1.
The main R1 or R2 or C1, C2 or C3, which one I need to select it?
R1.
R1
That
is
means you
good.
can see the rows always indicates the record, that the complete record. That means the complete information of particular employee ID. For example, you want to get the particular employee information, complete information. Then which one we need to pick it? Which one we need to pick it?
Row.
Rows. That means the rows contains your data. Then what about the columns? Columns also containing the data, but you can see the columns always indicates a single item or multiple items data. For example, you want to display all the employee IDs. Then so you can see that means all employee IDs I want to display. So in those situation, which one I need to select? Which one I need to select? I need to select the columns, right? So the why they are framing the data in the form of rows and columns means the rows always indicate some complete information regarding to particular record. But so when we want to display the all items data, that means particular column data, particular gender data, or particular group of data I want to display in those situation, we can use the columns. Okay, so just keep in mind always in the DBMS, your data should be in the form of rows and columns. The rows represent the record of entire record. So your columns indicates the multiple records data of particular type only. So you want to display only salary, then which one I need to select? Select star from salary, something like that one. Okay, so the most important thing, your always contains the rows and
And
columns inside of a table. Okay, so for example, I want to create a simple file. So I want to create a table, right? So you already know inside of the table only we can able to create it. So for example, how we can able to retrieve the data, how we can able to write the data means your DBMS always uses one query language, that is the SQL, we can call it as. Just like your Java programming, C programming, Python programming, SQL is one kind of programming language. So intention of the SQL is it can able to implement different kinds of operation over a
database.
database. Okay, that's the one. That means whenever we need to perform different kinds of operations top of your database, then we need to use which language? SQL.
SQL.
So for example, in the meanwhile, we can see. So create. So what is the meaning of the create is nothing but first we need to create a table, then only we can able to insert some data inside of it, that table, right? So how we can able to create a table? Your SQL just uses the normal English language. So nothing. So there are very simple to writing SQL. So what is my intention? I want to create a table. Then the command is very simple. Create table.
table.
So what is the table name? For example, I want to create a table of employee. So the table you are creating means table, obviously it is contains the columns, right? So here we need to mention that columns. First one, employee ID. The next one is the name. The next one is the salary. Next one is the job. Next one is the phone number. But problem is that your employee IDs contains different kinds of data, right? Maybe you can store the number data. Maybe you can read the string data, right? So we need to define what kind of data you are allowing for this column. For the employee ID, for example, I am allowing the only number data. Then we can put it as a comma. Name is nothing but the group of character. In Oracle point of view, we can treat that
Okay.
as a varchar2. Salary is again a number. Job is a description, right? Then we need to use a string data type, that is the varchar2. Then phone number is again number. That's it. We are creating the table. By writing this simple command, we are creating the employee table. Inside of the employee table, how many columns are available?
Five.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Five column.
Okay. So first we are going to create a table, then we can come back and we will insert some data, right? You guys are understand it's very simple writing the SQL command. Okay, you don't need to be expertise of SQL. Just you know the basic, that's enough. So here first I'm already connecting to my username and password. Then here we need to create a right one second. I can maximize it the layout.
Font.
Yes, font. I can. Okay, then it is good. So select, sorry,
So,
first we
so
yeah,
this run SQL command line automatically comes up once we install that.
yes. No need to install any other tools. So
Okay.
once you install the Oracle XE, just go here. I will
Search
close
for.
this one. Search. So you can simply search for the run SQL command line. Okay.
Okay.
Run SQL command line. Just open it. 1 second. Run SQL command line. Then it comes here. I'm
Enter username
simply,
password.
yeah, I'm font. I'm creating it.
So it asks for username password to set
Yeah.
during
First,
installation.
it is asking for the only password. No need to, it is not going to ask your username. Your default username is system.
Because
Okay.
you gave mule, right?
I'm creating the one separate user. Okay.
So we don't need to create user.
We, no, if you want, I will, I will give that. 1 second. Um, I will give that command also. Okay. Generally, it is not required. Just go for the default setting. Then it is very easy. Okay. Otherwise, you want to create a table. 1 second. I can write it on here. Then you can pass the screen and you can able to see. So this is the creating the user. For example, in my class, I am creating the create user mule identified by the whatever the password you require. Then you can simply give that password. That is the first step. Then after this one, we need to run one more command. This is the SQL prompt only. We need to execute it. Just remember it. Okay. I'm adding one more command. Grant all
Privilege.
privileges to whatever the username you are giving. So these two commands you need to run. Okay. It is very easy for you. That. Okay. So after executing this one, so you can simply connect it. How we can able to connect it once you did this one. So this is the command to connect the username. CONNECT connect whatever the username you are giving mule, then you can give the slash and whatever the password you are giving, that is the one. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. So I am already creating the my user ID. The only one single step. Just remember, it's only once only you need to do this one. After the every time, then we need to connect like this one. Just remember it. Okay. So what is my username? So connect mule.
Mule.
What is the
Slash.
password? Mule
Mule demo.
demo. Okay, now I'm successfully connected. So first we need to create a table. First we need to check is there any tables are available. The command is the select star from tab. This command always indicates the is there any tables are there. It is automatically listed. There are no tables are there. Then we need to create a table. Create table. What is the table name? I'm going to create it. Employee. Then we need to open bracket. So first we need to start with the column names. So first one is the
Bracket.
employee ID. What is its data type?
Okay.
Number. Then you can put a comma. Then the
Name.
employee name.
Wildcat.
So it is a varchar 2. So for this one, we need to define what is the maximum length of name you can able to allow. That should be inside of the double, this the one. So I can give the 35. That means for this one, for the employee name at maximum, it can allow you 35 character. That is the size. Okay. Name is that. Then what is the next one is the job. Job is also a varchar 2. I am allowing this to the 10 characters. The size. The next one is job is there, that
Phone number.
salary is there, salary is the number field, and the phone number. Second, phone number, it is also a number, and that's it. Okay, you can simply give the semicolon, then enter. So what is the message you are getting? Your table
Table
is
created.
created. So let's now we can search it. How we can able to whether the table is created or not. Select star from tab. Let's see. So you can see there is a one table is created, right? Now
Employee.
your table is created, everything is good. Then is there any data is available inside of the table? How I want to see it? So very simple. Select
Start from employee.
star from the table name. What is the table name you are created?
Employee.
Employee. That's it. Is there any data is available? No data. Then that's why it is showing the no result. So you want to insert the data inside of a table. That command is very simple. Okay. So what is your requirement? You want to insert it. Then we can write like that. Insert into what is the table name? Employee. Okay, so insert into employee values of this is here you need to remember one important one. So whatever the order you are created, while giving the while we inserting the data inside of the table, you need to follow the same order. Okay, so what is the first field?
ID. Employee
Employee
ID.
ID. What is its data type?
Number.
Number.
Then I can give the 101. Then next one is the name. What's its data type?
Vacuum.
Character.
The varchar means it is a string. So all the strings must be included inside of the single code.
Single.
Just remember. Okay, for example, I am giving the Smith. The next one is the job. Job is also a string. I can give the HR. The next one is
Salary.
salary. So what is the salary? I am giving 50,000. Then the phone number I am giving 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Then you can give it. So one row is
Created.
created. Now we can go and select it. So there is one row is there. So this is the way first we are creating a table. The next one is we are inserted. Okay. So this is a simple command. So now what is my requirement is now let us assume. So this is the way there is a employee information is available inside of your database. What is your intention is you need to create one API. So that API intention is whatever the data is available inside of that particular table, it is automatically retrieving and it is converted into the JSON. So that is my requirement.
Hmm.
Okay. Now you guys tell me where is your data is available
Inside database.
inside of the database, right? So you need to hit your database and you want to collect it. That is your requirement. Okay. So I'm committing it. What is the meaning of committing means whatever the operations you are performing, those should be permanently done inside of the database. Now, the whatever the data is available inside of my employee table, I want to retrieve it. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now go and see it. I'm
New
creating the
project.
so new project. Okay, which operation I'm going to perform it? I'm performing the read operation, right? Then you can see read db. I'm simply
DB.
giving. Okay. Then click on finish. So I'm starting here now the same thing. So what is the starting point? So what is the triggering point?
HTTP.
There it is in the HTTP. I'm drag and drop over here. So I'm creating the settings. Click on OK. Wait a second. Okay. Then here we can give the read data. Okay, so for this one I want to restrict the my HTTP listener to the get method only. So how we can able to restrict that one?
Advanced.
Advanced. Then allowed methods,
Allow
here we
method.
can specify the get.
Okay.
Okay,
You
that's
can
it.
change the display name for listener.
Yeah. Okay, general, go control C, control V, that's it. Then we can place the logger, always it is good practice. What is this one? I can give
Retrieving data.
database reading flow or the operation started. Okay, so generally the started at so generally in the real time also they will display the timestamp. Okay, so how you can get the timestamp
No.
now? Okay, that means at the 12:55 something you are starting your database starting, right? So generally the next one is here you need to read the data from your database. That means you need to use the different connectors, right? So let's search for it. So what is the database collector? You can see there is a database connector is there. So there are list of operations are available. In the list of operations, which one you need to perform it, you can see the different things are available. So I want to perform read operation. So in the read operation, which command I am going to run it?
Select.
The same thing, you can see whatever the command is starting in the variable with that name, your connector is available inside of your database connection. You can see the database, you can see select command is there, insert command is there, delete command is there. So here I want to perform the select. Then here we need to select which one?
Database select.
Database select. You can simply drag and drop over here. There it is. Drag and drop. Okay. So here you just remember one important thing. This is the most important thing. So what happened when we drag and drop any particular connector from palette to canvas? Behind what happens? So as of now, what you are imagine, you can whenever you want to perform something, when we drag and drop in from palette to the canvas, it is automatically creating it. That is your inside, right? So inside of is there any file is there uh, to see all this configuration, which connector I am using, which version of the connector I am using. So is there any file is there to track all these modifications, all this configuration? So this is the most important one, just remember. So whenever you are doing any modifications, any connectors, it is automatically adding an entry inside of one particular file. That file name is what is this one? Form.xml. Okay, for example, you can see there is a database selecting command you can see, for example, I am remove this one. Let's say first I will show you. So you can see and zoom it, then you guys are clearly see that. So you can see there are different, you can see there is a Java folder is there, resources folder is there. So different things are available, right? Let us say, for example, I am opening the one second. You can see when we're using the HTTP, then it is automatically adding the HTTP configuration. Let's try to open this one. What is the thing? You can see inside of this one, some files are available, right? So all files are ending with some particular word. What is that word?
Yes.
Dot common-text 1.8 dot jar file. So that means internally whatever the dependencies you are adding to your project, it is automatically adding some with these files. We can call it as a dependencies. So what is the meaning of dependencies? Nothing but you are not written any single line code. Then how they are internally maintaining the everything is program, how the program is executing means. So all your code is available inside of these dependencies. So dependency is nothing but the predefined code. Okay, the dot jar file always indicates the Java code. Okay, so the mule is working top of your Java platform, right? That means whenever you are using the HTTP connector, when you are using the file connector, we no need to write any code, right? But internally, someone has to write the code. So where that code is available means by you the inside of these dependencies, your code is available. The dependencies always comes with the
Dot
extension
jar.
of dot jar file.
Yes.
But for example, I am drag and drop the database connector. Definitely, it should add the all the dependencies, right? According to my point, right? Let's
Yes.
say, for example, I am adding the database one. This database select. Okay, you can see I am drag and drop it. Now go and see here. So previously, is there any database connector is available?
No.
Now, when
No,
we
no,
drag
sir.
and drop, automatically first it adding that database connector. Then go and see what are the dependencies it is adding. You can see these are the dependencies which are related to your database connector. So someone asked starting of the class how we can able to see the predefined code means inside of this jar file contains your predefined code. Okay, so you no need to write it. You can see this database connector I am using 1.10.4. This is the dependency database client. Everything is available inside of the jar file. Technically, these jar files we can call it as a
Inside code.
no, no, no. With these files, we can call it as a It starts with the word D.
Dependencies.
Dependencies. Okay. So for example, maybe it is seems to be someone not aware of the what the dependencies. Maybe for example, you want to construct a wall. So what are the tools you require to construct the walls? So by hand you can able to construct the wall
Bricks,
by
cement.
using some bricks or some tools are you are using now. So
Yes.
without using those tools, you can able to construct the wall.
No.
Though that's the same, the whatever the tools you are using, let us visualize those are we can call it as a dependencies. So you need to perform one database operation. Definitely, we require some tools. Where the tools are available means inside of these dependency. So in simple terms, we can call it these are the your header files. In C point of view, C++ point header files, the header file contains the predefined written code. So by using these codes, we can able to call it. So when we drag and drop anything from palette to the canvas, automatically first it add all the dependencies here. So the dependency is nothing but the predefined Java code. Okay, let us say this is the first point. The next one is, so there are so many dependencies I'm adding to inside of my project. So inside of the project, how we can manage all these things, which connector I'm using, what is the version of the connector. So everything we need to identify it. So this is the Maven based project. All the Maven based project, they're maintaining one centralized file to track all the configuration settings, all the dependency information. That centralized file, we can call it as a, what is this
Form.
file? Pom.xml. Just remember. So this pom.xml file contains all your configuration. Let me open this pom.xml. So I'm opening the source mode. You can see. So this is your pom.xml. You can see there are different tools I'm adding, right? So where it is available, you can see there is a word which start with the name. You can see what is this name?
Dependencies.
So inside of the dependency, you can able to see there is a mule connectors. We can able to see. You can see this is my socket connector. This is my HTTP connector. Now you can see this is a database connector. You can see whatever the connector you are using, those will be added inside of this pom.xml. So by using this pom.xml, we can able to track it. So what we can going to track it? So what are the connector we are using? What is the version? Everything we can able to track it and by using this pom.xml. Got it, guys?
Yes.
So for example, let us say, so you can see there is a connector is available, database connector, right? Let's see, for example, I am removing it. You can say whatever you are seeing here, these are the dependencies of your project. Okay, let me remove this one. I'm giving the right click and giving the remove module. Okay, so is there any dependency? Is there any information regarding your database countries inside our project?
No.
No. Then, so whatever the dependency you are removed. So the whatever the previously said, so all the dependencies information is available inside of the pom.xml. Now your database entry is available inside of your pom.xml. You are removed, right? You removed the database connector information. So ideally, that information is not available inside of your pom.xml, right?
Mm.
Let's go and see inside of the pom.xml. So this is the dependency one. There is a dependency two. So is there any database connector is there?
It has been removed.
That means whatever modifications you are done, whatever the connectors you are adding, automatically they will be tracked by using your.
Form.
Now you can understand what is the power of pom.xml. So the moreover, the next important one is, so in the real time when we deploy the project means every times we no need to, we can see, so we no need to add all this dependency. Just remember. So we need to add the only the source code. Okay, so we never adding any dependency to your project. So all the dependencies again re-downloaded from your pom.xml. Just remember the point. Okay, so whatever the dependencies you are adding to your project, but at the time of exporting your project, so those dependencies will not added to your project. All the dependencies again we need to re-download it. So from where it is re-downloaded means by using the Maven repository only we can able to re-download it. So whenever we need to re-download it, so which version I need to download it? So I need to download mule contrast 1.5.25. Otherwise, I want soft connector 1.2.2. So these connectors only I want to re-download it. So where that information is available? From which file we can get that information?
Form.xml.
Form.xml. That means for your mule project, heart of your mule project is your
Form.
form.xml. So when someone asks the question, what is the need of form.xml means, so inside of the form.xml only, all the dependencies and configuration information is available. That is the one interview question. The second question is indirectly they ask the question. So for example, at the time of your designing, so you are using the database connector. Let us drag and drop it. One database connector. Let's see. Add module to your project. So which one is there any database is there? One second. This is the one. Adding it. Now let's go and see inside of form.xml. You can see which database version I am using here. Which database connector version I am using? 1.10.4, right? For example, after 1 month, they're releasing the new version. So you need to update your database connector. So how we can update it? Again, you can open your entire project inside of any point studio. You can delete that existing one, then you can again drag and drop it now. So your project is already in the production. So is this the way? Right? So whenever we need to update it, you can simply add the item inside of this one, your form.xml, and then you can redeploy your entire project. Then it is automatically downloaded the updated dependency. So whenever we need to update your dependency information, you can just go to your form.xml and just modify whatever the dependency you required. Okay, so this is the one, just remember it. You guys are understand what I am telling?
Yes.
So this is the one of the interview question they are asking. So how we can update at the versions of your dependencies means how we can update it?
By changing in form
By changing the form.xml.
version.
So what is the what is the form.xml? What are the values inside of that form.xml?
Configuration and dependencies.
All the configuration information. The configuration is nothing but the dependencies information. Okay, so these two things always in keep in mind. So whenever you drag at any particular connector, automatically all the dependency added, all that information is also available inside of your form.xml. Okay, now you can see we are adding the database select command here. Let's see, first we can configure these things. One second. So just like your HTTP listener or file connector, we need to configure this one. So which one you can see here, configuration settings, connector configuration is there. Simply click on plus button. So first one, first we need to select the which database provider you are using. You are using the MySQL or you are using the Oracle. We need to identify it, right? So here you can see there is a connection is there. You can simply click on one. So here which one I need to select it?
MySQL.
MySQL or Oracle?
Oracle.
Then we need to select the Oracle.
Oracle.
Okay. Then when we select in the Oracle, it is asking one important thing. What is this one?
Libraries.
Required library. So you
Libraries.
need to add this as one more dependency. So here two ways you can add this dependency. The first one is manually you can add the JDBC dependency. Otherwise, from the Maven repository, you can able to add it. Okay. So first we will see the Maven dependency. Okay. So first I will show you what is the Maven dependency, then we can add it. Okay. I will open this one. This we can call it as a Maven repository. Okay, I'm opening this Maven repository. So whatever you are seeing, this we can call it as a Maven repository. Okay, so generally, what is the meaning of repository? What is the general English meaning of repository?
Storing. Storage.
Where the place where we can store the some data, right? Let us assume,
Yes.
for example, everybody completed their schooling or college, right? So in the college level, we have the libraries, right? What is the need of library? So what is the So what is the need of library?
To store all the books.
To store that books are. Tell me what is the need of library? Can anyone? We can also store the books inside of storeroom also. Then what is the need of library?
So
So the,
someone wants a
yeah.
reference.
So when someone has doubt, so we need to refer something, right? So
Mm.
we need to refer some books, or we need to refer some magazines, or we need to refer some resources. So where all these resources are available, some place we need to maintain that, right? All the resources, that place we can call it as a library. So the library contains the some centralized repository. So where all the resources are available. When someone need to identify particular information, so we go on that place and we can able to refer it. The same thing you can see. So whatever the project you are creating, you are adding different levels of dependencies, right?
Yes.
So previously we are seeing the when we using the database, you are seeing the database dependencies. You are adding the file
Yes.
connector, file dependencies are available. The same way you are performing different kinds of operations. We no need to return any single code. So somebody already written the code, but where that already written code is available? That is my question, right? So for example, let us say in the school, in the BTech students, we need to learn, so we need to refer different kinds of textbooks. So there are 10 reference books are there, 2 prescribed books are there. So for the each student, is it feasible to buy the 10 books or 12 books in the college level?
No.
No, the for 6 subject, that 6 into 12, 72 books, you need to buy it for each semester.
Yes. How?
That this is not possible, right? Then how we can
Yes.
able to get those books? We can simply go to that centralized library and we can give that card and we can able to refer those books, right? The same way you can see some third party members, some all the resource programmers, they already created the dependencies, and all those dependencies is available one centralized place. That centralized place we can call it as a Maven
Yeah.
repository. So Maven repository is a place where we can see all the dependencies to which is developed by the different kinds of programmer, open community, and everything. Okay, so whenever we need to identify particular dependencies, just come here and you can search and you can use as of that dependency. For example, for this one, so what is the dependency I required?
Oracle JDBC driver.
Oracle JDBC driver. So just I'm go to Maven repository and I'm searching that one. Oh, JDBC. Okay, you can simply search for this one. You can see different things are available. So generally we need to select the OJDBC 14, right? You can see. So there are the one. Otherwise, OJDBC 10 is there. Different drivers are available. So these are all the dependencies. Okay. I think we can OJDBC 8 driver. We will stay. So this is the dependency I want. So all right, tell now what is the dependency? Dependency is nothing but
Tool that required to use.
no. What is the extension? We are seeing right.
Dot jar.
Dot jar, right? So you can see. So you can see these are versions, right? Different version. You can simply open any version. You can able to see what is the file it is showing.
Yeah.
That means you whatever the dependency you are seeing, this is also one Java program. Okay. So you can directly download the jar file and you can able to define it otherwise. So what kind of project you are defining? You are providing a Maven based one, right? So every information is available inside of your form.xml, right? So you need to
Yes.
add the entry inside of that form.xml. So you can see this is the entry. Okay, so you can see you are using the Maven programming style. So you can simply search this one and you can copy this entry and go here. So you can simply click on configure, add Maven dependency. So whatever the dependency information is there, you can simply remove it and you can paste it. Okay, so when we adding this one, you can see I'm downloading the OJDB's 8 driver of which version?
21.6.3.0.
Okay, so you can simply click on finish. Now you can see it is automatically downloading that driver. So you no need to download, it is automatically downloading that information and it is adding. Now you can see what is the one it is getting,
Frame.
right? Now, the next question is next important one. This is the first task you are completed. You are successfully added the JDBC driver, which is coming from your Maven repository. The next question is where is your database? Where is your database? Your database server is available inside of your local machine, or your database server is available inside of remote place. How we can able to identify that one?
Most important.
So in this example, where is my database is running? Where my database running? Inside
Local.
of my local machine only, right?
Local.
So then we need to hear the local host. So local host in the real time. So they will provide the IP address of your database server. Then we need to provide that IP address here. The port number is common 1521. The next one is username. What is the username you are giving? The mule.
Mule.
And what is the password?
Mule demo.
Manual demo. The next one is the most important one. So this we can call it as an instance or service name. So generally we can give the instance name as XE. So because I am installing the Oracle XE version. So in the real time they will provide the whatever the instance name service name. Okay. Then the most important one first we need to check the whatever the configuration settings you are providing is correct or not. You can simply click on test connection. Let's check it. If everything is correct, my dependency is correct, then we can get this successful. Why I'm testing means sometimes your dependency is not able to configure correctly. Now I'm getting successfully, then click on OK, then click on OK. Then. So what is the query you need to write it to select get the data from your table?
Select star from.
The same command you need to write here. Select star from what is the table name?
Employee.
Employee, right? That's it. Okay, you can simply click on save. So whatever the output of the select command, I want to convert them as a JSON. So for this one, which one we need to use it? I
Transform.
want, right? So is there any transform? Why it is not sure? Whatever the output is coming of this thing. So entire thing I am converting to the JSON.
JSON.
Once. So entire payload, I'm converting it payload. Okay, that's it. Save the program. Let's try to execute it. The simple thing. What is a PAM?
Read data.
What is a PAM? PAM.xml contains. It's configuration
Dependencies.
setting. Yeah. All the configuration settings, dependencies, and everything. Let's try whether it is picking that information from my table or not. Let's wait for it. Yeah, it's deploy and then go to, I think what is read data. Okay,
Read data.
read data, then click on send. Now you can see I'm fetching the data from my database. There is only one record is available. That's why it is picking only one record. Let's go and insert one more record inside of this one. I'm inserting the data as a 102 and instead of Smith, I'm giving the Martin. Okay, let's hit it. Okay, so just remember, so you need to press the commit, then only from the mule point of view you can get it. Otherwise, everything is temporary. Just remember it when we're running on the SQL command line. Okay, then you can hit it one more time. What is my postman? You can hit it. Now you can see it is automatically picking those records, right? Got it, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the way. This is simple example. In this example, what we learn. So how we can able to configure it and what is the pom.xml. So what is the inside of this pom.xml? That is the first part. The second part for the database. So we are adding the dependencies from We are adding the dependencies from where we are adding the dependency. We add the dependency from Maven repository. So just remember 99 got 100% we need to add the dependency from the Maven repository only. So we never add the dependency manually. That is the point to always keep in mind, guys. Okay. So in the real times, we always add the dependency from the Maven store only. Otherwise, so in your organization, they provide the Nexus repository. Please go on mute, guys. Please go on mute. So there is one more repository. We can call it as a Nexus repository. Either these two places only we need to download all your dependency, either Maven or the Nexus repository. So what is the Nexus repository? I will explain later. Just remember. Okay. So the next important question is, so where is your database is available? We need to provide that information here, the host name, port number, user ID and password. That's it. So this is the way. After this one, we need to write whatever the query you need to write it. Okay. This is a simple example of fetching the data from your database table. Okay, guys.
So there is a second option, right? I added a manual.
Yeah. So
In
the
case you want to
manually,
add,
right, I will show you. So this is the one, right?
yes,
I am downloading this jar file. Okay. So what is the one? OJDB sites. It is available inside of my downloads, right? Let's
yes,
go. I'm stopping this project. Okay. I'm go here. Let's see in the configuration. I remove it. I'm going to remove this one. Remove the configured library. Is there any dependency? Is there?
no,
Then we can let's try to check condition. Let's see what happens. You can see it is got failed, right?
yes,
Then you can see. Now we can configure. You can see what is the second option it is showing.
use local file.
Then click on local. Then go to browse where it is available inside of the
Down,
downloads, right? You can select this download and open it. You can see what is the problem of adding this one. You can see what is the group it is showing.
com.my
Com
company.
dot my company, right? So at the time of deployment, what happens is nothing but it is looking for the same name is matching inside of your Maven repository or not.
Mhm,
Why? Because we are not uploading, we are not added any dependencies to the my project, right?
mhm,
Then it is try to access this same group IDs available inside of your Nexus repository or inside of your Maven repository. So in the such cases, what happens? This group ID is not available because we are adding this item from the locally. So
mhm.
definitely it should fail.
It is going to fail at production.
That is the one. That's what I am 100%. We need to add the data from the Maven. But here it is automatically adding. It is working because in this project I added this dependency manually, right?
Manual.
But when we exporting the project, what happens? We are not adding to this dependency. There we are getting fail. Go and see inside of your pom.xml. What is the company name it is adding? You can see what
My
is the
company.
company name? Com dot
Com.my.
my company. Actually, this company is not available, right? That is the one version
Yes,
0.1. So that's why we are 100% we need to get that information from the Maven repository only.
Maven repository, which is standard one.
Yeah, otherwise Nexus repository. What is the Nexus? I will explain later. Okay. So this is a simple example. Just keep in mind, just practice these things in today. Tomorrow we will see some more examples and other operations, everything. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
So I already shared the links, right? Where the
So,
Oracle software is
sir, can
available.
you
This
share
is
it
the.
again? I joined late, so that I
Oh,
can go.
okay. 1 second. I read. Uh,
Repaste it.
whatever. Wait, 1 second. Okay. Otherwise, here
Thank you.
also I can place that one. Okay. Maybe you can take the screenshot and you can download everything. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. So tomorrow we will see how we can extract the data and different operations one by one, one by one. Okay. Yeah, you guys have any doubts? Then you
Okay.
can ask. Yeah.